So it's July 25th, 2020 here in southern Ontario, and 30 degrees today. Very hot. So you can see that this, my biggest Paulownia Tomentosa, the leaves are droopy, and that happens during the daytime when the sun is shining down very fiercely upon it. But it's almost 2 meters high now. So we can see this year's growth has equaled and just about surpassed last year's growth. Hopefully it'll keep going. But something interesting down here is that, so if we take a look at this stem that grew last year, you'll see that it's quite thick. And if we take a look at this stub that was left over from last year's growth, you'll notice how this trunk and stem is much thicker now. And you'll see that on this side and this side, the two branches are growing differently. The one on the right side is not really growing that thick, so it's not going to be a leader for the tree, but this one is growing much thicker and taller, and you'll see that it has some woody growth. It's turning woody instead of green. Like if we go up it, you'll see that it's greener at the top and more woody at the bottom near the stem from last year's growth. And the same thing is happening with this one. It's turning woody, and then as you go along, it's more green. So this biggest Paulownia Tomentosa is now about 2 meters tall. So that Paulownia continues to grow at a okay speed. This Paulownia Tomentosa, which I moved, is getting a little larger. This one I moved into the sun has seen pretty good growth for the past 2 weeks since my last update. It's about 45 centimeters tall now. And this Paulownia Tomentosa, which was grown from the root of the one in the back, is fairly big now. Not massive, but decent. This Paulownia Tomentosa hasn't been growing terribly fast, but it's about 30 centimeters tall now. I guess because it's just not getting as much sunlight. And the last Paulownia Tomentosa at the back here, fairly tall, about a meter tall now. And the leaf is bigger than my above average hand. I think it's above average. And the root structure is as such, or the stem structure. So this is where I cut off two stems that were on the side. You can see a hole because the stems of these are hollow, but it's fine as long as you don't cut it when there's frost. So the black raspberries, as you can see right here, are all gone because they ripened up and we picked them. But the canes are growing really long. This cane actually came over from the fence, which is over 2 meters high, and I tied it so that it'll come down like this. And next year we'll enjoy more black raspberries. So if we look down here past this catalpa, there's the Pawpaw, Asimina Triloba, that I rescued from a mother tree. It was in danger of being mowed, so anyways, there it is. It's growing well. This catalpa is growing well also. A lot of leaves now. It had some flowers. It's about 4 to 5 years old, but the flowers didn't produce any beans. Here's the ash trees. They're everywhere here, and fortunately there's no problem with the emerald ash borer. And I thought they were a different kind of tree, but nope, they're ash. So that's how ash looks. And going back to Pawpaw, so basically this is a Pawpaw grown from seed, and this is its second growing season. Last growing season it was very tiny and it hardly grew, but in this second growing season the Pawpaw have really taken off. So you can see how large the leaves are now, and that has happened for a lot of them. So let's go take a look at the other Pawpaw that we have. There's one right there, grown from seed, quite large now, and I was told by Eric that they grow really their growth takes off in the third year. So I'm looking forward to that. This one was also grown from seed, and you can see actually it's quite vigorous. So I mean, hopefully this one grows really quickly. And there's another one on the right side. Big leaves, growing really well, grown from seed. Now, here's another pup that I rescued from a mother tree, and it's not growing quite as quickly as the ones grown from seed. And they're actually about the same age. They're both about 2 years old. So at the rear of my backyard, in this compost pile, is this volunteer seedling of a mulberry tree that is huge now. It's 3 meters high. It has borne fruit already, not much, but it has borne fruit, and it's only in its third growing season. So there's a Robinia pseudoacacia beside it, which I guess helped to give nitrogen to the soil. And for this mulberry, I've cut off some branches just so it wasn't taking over the backyard. And that one was a fresh cut. This is a trimming from last year. So mulberry, whatever color mulberry, red, white, or even black, they do extremely well with trimming. So don't be afraid to trim your mulberry at all. Sorry, trim was not the word I was looking for. It's supposed to be prune. Don't be afraid to prune your mulberries. So this is a mulberry, a white mulberry that I grew from seed about 2 to 3 years ago, and it's not getting very big. I'm not sure, maybe it's because I have these bricks on top of the soil, or maybe it's because it's in a pot. But anyways, the bricks are there to stop squirrels from destroying it. This volunteer mulberry, on the other hand, it was a tiny plant in maybe April or May. But look at it now, it's already almost as tall as the one that's many years older. So if we look in this pot here, mulberry, they just get planted here by bird poop or whatever, and they start off very tiny like this, but their growth is so rapid that in 1 year they can grow 1 or 2 meters high. So this is another mulberry volunteer that just planted itself here in the soil, and it also just started this growing season. So it's probably a month old, I guess. That's fairly large. So that's pretty much the garden update for this week, or this middle of summer. Hope you guys are doing well. And I don't know about you guys, but it feels like fruits and stuff on trees, seeds and whatever, black walnut, are actually ripening faster. I'm not sure, but it's definitely been hotter. Well, hope you are all doing well wherever you are.